Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Lucid. We're jumping back into our game with Late Age Home. It's turn 78 and we are rapidly approaching turn 81, which when we get there, we're going to do that turn together, or at least finish it, in all of its painful micro glory. We're going to have probably like a 2-hour episode. So you watch me micro through everything. Okay, turn 78. We're casting Black Servants to get people to raid underwater with horror support. They are kind of like the artillery laser guiders for my horror strikes. 3 red seconds, casting that twice. So kind of crazy when you get to Blood 8 and you can start just dropping forts all over the place. That said, you do kind of want to focus on military and vampires rather than forts late in the game, but this is going to help when the raiding shenanigans start, and I have lots of chaff to fill them up, so it will make me very difficult to siege. And then vampires, since they're immortal, things that kind of add to your defense make you very, very, very hard to kill, because you just keep throwing vampires at them, unless they are enslaving them. It appears, I don't know what happened here. I don't know if I cast it a couple times. I think Abyssia and I both targeted this province or something. Because this is a whole just storm of horrors. And no matter who casts it, they all kind of get put on the same team. And yeah, these guys are going to get basically murdered. Yeah. Do I have the sound too high? Okay, so that is that. And we have another horror battle here in Faldenberg. Belly Maw horrors, some of my favorite, and 3 of them should be enough to easily dispatch these. We'll see how that goes. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Yep. These horrors ain't scared. Give me that PD. Okay, so those guys get wrecked. We found a magic site, Cave of Pale Ones. I think this is Earth and Death. Kinda cool. Found another magic site, Smolder Stone. So yeah. We are still casting Auspex. Probably not a good use of air gems at this point. We will make sure we stop that on turn 81. We had a Thrall turn into a horror again. That's kind of okay. That's what we expect. What is weird about this... Okay, let's go to this Thrall. So that's again here. I think, and I could have, I think I've tested this, how this spell works. I haven't seen it a lot. It used to, oh, he's horror marked. Okay. So yeah, I think it is working then. Kind of got to check here, okay. Okay, yeah, some of these guys are getting horror marked. So somebody cast Horror Seed on this province. And people in it, even commanders, like, okay, well, commanders without... So this guy's horror marked, right? But he does not have... Maybe he had at one point. A Lightless Lantern, because those will horror mark you too. But... yeah, so I think the way it works is... These guys, like the Horror Seed, when they pop out, you get this kind of horror attack. But until it pops out, it horror marks everybody in the province. And I think that's basically what's happening here. Which is good, because that's kind of what I wanted to do, and I've just been spamming it on their capital. I probably should spam it somewhere else, but I don't know. We'll go through the rest of the things. Okay, so those are the sites, Blood Economy, and then Battles. I'm just going to click through these real quick. We'll see if there's any big ones, and then we'll make sure we watch those. Okay, this is kind of big. We'll watch this. Okay, so he's got, it looks like a Flamestorm army, the same one we've seen before. And, here, one second, let me get the volume down. It's kind of burning my ears out. I'll have adjusted it for you by the time you hear it, but for me... Okay, and then we have Flamestorm coming down on my Ghoul Guardians and murdering all my vampires. I mean, the vampires get one-hitted by it. So yeah, we got wrecked there. As you would expect. I don't... Well, let's check it real quick. Belmar? I'm going to zip through it. We're going to look at the end and look at the unit log. and see how many of my vampires got converted, because he probably was doing some enslaved mind. They're still dead, and they won't respawn for him because they died in their home province is my capital. But yeah, he didn't enslave any of them, so they're all coming back. One of them retreated. Okay, so anyway, that happened. That was, I think, south of Micklin. And here's the final battle report. Yeah, they stole a Ghoul Guardian, they killed a bunch of my stuff. None of their stuff died, which is kind of impressive. I don't know if he did mass regeneration. Yeah, I gotta do something different for those kind of battles. There's not... yeah, we'll see. I think ultimately I'm just gonna overwhelm this guy through economy. Because while Lemuria can kind of have an economic base, they need a lot of forts, and this Lemuria does not have a ton. Okay. Wait, here's another one on Dragon Ridge. We're gonna watch this. So he cannot have all the mage support here. Yeah, this is gonna be just a couple. He does have a Grand Lemur here at the back, but not that much. And we're casting Life for Life, which unfortunately I do not believe is targeting the Grand Lemur. For some reason it wants to go after these, and I don't understand, because this guy has 20... maybe these guys actually have more HP density per square, because that guy has 25. These guys have, what, 28? Yeah, so maybe these do actually have higher square density of HP, which is annoying, because Life for Life doesn't even target a whole square. Anyway, we got Witherbones coming out. And we've got our own Ghoul Guardians. We probably will lose our Ghoul Guardians here. Okay, he's casting Witherbones. Okay, and then we dust to dust him. So that is how that ends. And that was Dragon Ridge. So we lost 9 of our Ghoul Guardians. Killed off this. I don't know if that's really a good trade. We got an Enchantress, though, and those are pretty expensive. And this is late enough in the game where Lemuria actually is going to be pretty poor. He was probably one of the richest nations at a point when he was expanding very far out of his dominion, and he still had a bunch of population left, but those days are now long gone, and he is very quickly getting pinned up in his own dominion. Okay, we're going to watch this. There's a big battle here. Okay, so... this is kind of what we were tuning in for. This is, if you recall, the end of last episode, Utgard had been on top of my fort. They moved off of my fort and raided 2 nearby provinces. Or they moved off of their fort to raid 2 nearby provinces. I then said, okay, well, we're ready to fight you. We had moved back onto his fort, and I was expecting this turn he was going to condense both of his little raiding parties back on top of the fort he owned, and we would then have a battle. My army versus his. And we're going to get that. So there we go. We've got, on my side, I think we're dropping mass protection. Yep. I don't have the armies of gold or whatever yet. I think, does he cast mass protection? That's kind of what it looks like. No. What did he cast? Can't quite tell. Maybe poison resistance? I don't think I have poison resistance on my guys, so a lot... Oh. Do I? I do. I don't even know how I... How do I have poison resistance on my guys? Maybe I was smart and cast it? I don't know. So we both have Howl up. I think he put Rigor Mortis up, not me. Because I probably don't really care for Rigor Mortis, though it's not that bad. And then I think I have Relief up. I don't know whose Foul Vapors is. It would be kind of cool if these things had an icon that like showed you which player it was. Now we both have pretty big archer cores, and I think both of ours are pretty well distracted by Hal. Like you can see my little animals attacking him. It seems that we are destroying his front line though. Yeah, and you can see this archer fire actually is doing pretty good work on these gam herdings. We've got a thug up here, and a thug here, but they will not hold up under archer fire. Though Hal is doing a just phenomenal job of distracting archers on both sides. And Hal is still up, Rigor Mortis is gone, I don't know who cast it. Foul Vapors is gone also. You know, I really don't remember doing like Poison Ward or anything like that, but apparently I did. We do have, I think on our side, this... Where is he? I think we have one of our Priest Smiths, an Astral one, part of a communion. Yeah, this guy. So he's dropping Gifts of Heaven. Which, it's always scary when you have your god there and there's Gifts of Heaven coming down. And I'm gonna speed it up a little here. Okay, his god is taking some damage, I think. Okay, 200 HP. He does have a fair amount of regeneration, but you can see now the crossbowmen have moved forward and they're just focus firing him down. He's got tons of afflictions now. Soul Slade delays immortality. Somehow that didn't kill him? Very weird. I've never actually seen that as a wound. Maybe it's a wound that takes a while to heal or something? I wonder if he had it before. We'll go back and check at the beginning of the battle, because I've never seen that. And I think that's about it for his god. Must be demoralizing for the army, you know, when you're sitting there fighting really hard and then you see your god die up in front of you. I'll speed it back up to the end here. You can see they're down to... They still have their communion slaves out, but just only a couple more dudes left. So, I lost a lot of guys here. But now it's just left to these. And then disintegrate and we kill them. So... let's take a look at the final battle toll there. That was that this? No? So here was this battle. So we got their god, we got 4 Scrotty, one of the enchantresses, and basically all the gam herdings and most of the crossbowmen. On our side, we lost 2 of our commanders, not a big deal, but they turned into soulless. One of our vampires died, but he'll respawn. We had a tragic loss of our goats, losing 90% of them. So that's, of course, very unfortunate. And yeah, we lost most of our rangers, and some of them were converted into soulless warriors, which, you know, I guess that's okay. Our thralls, they were kind of devastated. And Zweihanders as well. So in terms of numbers of troops, we actually lost like a higher percent. The reason our armies didn't rout, of course, is because we had a ton of skelly spam, and that will not trigger the HP rout if you have a bunch of summoned chaff on your side of the field. But in terms of mage losses, we had far fewer, right? So while we lost almost all of our units, we kept our mages, which is kind of what's important. And that is that. Finally, a battle in Gant, okay. I think we were trying to jump a province that we were going to horror strike, and we didn't end up casting Sent Horror there, so. Okay, it looks like Bogus is attacking us. Let's go see how that battle goes. Where's the battle? Oh, okay. Maybe there's not a battle. I think that was just an event. So Bogus, who's one of the heroes who will come and attack you, I guess he's just incorporated just for the lore inside of that event. Our vampire... This is the message you get. I haven't really showed it. Your vampires will respawn. Usually it's like a turn or two afterwards that they'll respawn. They respawn pretty quickly. I do actually want to go back and check that battle again and just see if he started off with the Soul Slay effect or if we gave it to him. Oh yeah. So I get, this actually is really interesting then. I wonder if you get Soul Slayed, if you have this effect, and it's basically permanent. So if you're immortal, all you do is you get Soul Slayed once, and then every time you die thereafter, it's going to slow down your respawning. Very interesting. I had no idea. You know, if that was the case, some of these guys who are respawning should have the Soul Slay effect, because I know some of them have been. But I have yet to see it. You know what I wonder? I wonder if the Soul Slay effect applies to immortality, but when you respawn from immortality, it removes it, like gets rid of it. It's kind of hard-coded in. Then if it happened to a god, the god would have the Soul Slay effect because he got Soul Slayed, but he would come back to life through Call God. And most other units don't come back to life unless they're immortal, so could be that. So we won this big battle here. We are going to basically reinforce it, and hopefully we can siege down this fort. Now, this army could attack, so we're actually going to prepare for that army attacking. We're going to be bringing in... Wait, what are we bringing in? Who's coming? Okay, this guy's coming in, and he's bringing more slaves. So he's basically going to be positioned right here, and you can see I put all the vampires around him. So they will use the slaves he's bringing in, and then we can do all of our magic as needed. We're not casting Life After Death here because we don't really have any living guys. Everybody basically died that battle, and if they're here as soulless. Yeah, we have this little trap here sprung that nobody's bitten on yet. We managed to successfully raid here. This was where that battle with the Grand Lemur was. So anyway, this actually is kind of going according to plan. We are... Now, he can move his units up through here, but I think it's a bit slower. So I probably actually want to shut this one down too, and I'll probably do that in the next turn. But yeah, we're... Basically, he hasn't thrown this army off. We're going to be pulling now that we have it sieged up, we're going to go ahead and pull in the wolf wall breakers. So we're going to pull all these guys in and have them siege the fort up. We already are sieging it down pretty well, but I think we need a bit more. And where are we? We go to Micklin. Okay, we've started to destroy the walls in Micklin. The walls are moderately damaged, more time is required. So that means we need to bring more troops. It's probably like somewhere between 1/3 and 2/3 damaged. So around a half, I would bet. And yeah, we need more troops. So we're bringing in some dudes. Like this guy's coming in with all these wolves. This guy coming in with some wolves. And then hopefully we will storm through there. Up here in this theater, you can see we've now got all these forts kind of pinned down. And we're going to just be juggling vampires around, trying to catch raiding parties. Yeah. But not having a predictable number in any single province, so it's kind of hard for him to predictably counter-raid and take this back. Was this a battle? Yeah, okay, so he attacked me here with some dudes. Wait, how did we not lose this? Oh, we did lose this. He's sieging us. Okay, so we're probably going to Infernal Disease this, I imagine. We can go check, but I don't really want to. We're probably going to Infernal Disease this, trap the army, and then we're moving in basically some vampires to kill this. And I haven't given them any slaves or anything. They're just going to be doing Horde of Skeleton spam. Because I know what's going to be here, basically. I mean, he could move more. But anyway, this should be sufficient. I wonder if I have a Lord with them? Because it is nice to mix up a Lord so he can do, even without a communion. I wonder what this guy's scripted to. Yeah, so this guy's going to do Wither Bones, which is good. Oh, but where's he going? He's actually coming down here. So we're going to be this is part of my just general confusion thing. We're going to be moving everybody into this province, and then I think this is probably the most likely one he's going to counter raid. So I'm pulling this guy in basically just to do Soul Vortex and Wither Bones. And hopefully that will kill any raiders that come. What else? This is probably demoralizing as Lemuria. In Lemuria, you don't have a ton of options. You're a little one-dimensional. And Infernal Disease and Send Horror really can be pretty demoralizing once it comes out, because you can't really effectively move your troops around. Except with your Grand Lemurs, and then those are in kind of short supply if you're in a war with 3 people, as this guy is. So he's kind of being a champ hanging in there. But it's also kind of what you bargain for when you sign up as a pop kill nation like Lemuria, so you kind of ask for it. The other thing is endgame for Lemuria usually is putting up Utterdark. And we're getting to the time where it's like, okay, where's Utterdark? Haven't you been saving up to cast it yet? Yeah. Utterdark, if you don't know what it does, it makes it where every battle you fight is in darkness, which is a really big advantage for undead troops. So for me, it's not going to matter much. It would affect these guys and really reduce their precision. It would make my chaff not very good, or worse than they already are. Which, that would be some effect, but my Skelly spam and stuff wouldn't really care, nor would my vampires particularly. Abyssia is partially immune. His demon summons, like these guys, they have full-on night vision, so they wouldn't be affected. But his summons, like these guys, are only... All the Abyssian troops are like 50 dark vision, so they still get affected by darkness. Though it's not quite as good. So, yeah, we're going to basically be moving here, defending this. This is a pretty damn high income province. I would love to, integrate this into the empire. So he's got a big army here. I don't know what it's going to do. Maybe come up and fight these guys. But yeah, that's good as long as it doesn't attack me. I might help him a little bit with some of these Lemurian raiders in his territory, because it's in my interest that he kills Lemuria. And I don't want him to get so distracted by Erythra that he can't murder Lemuria over here. But I'm very happy for their armies to fight each other, of course. What else? We are getting pretty damn close. You can see we have a ton of pearls. We're getting very close to casting Arcane Nexus. And to prepare for that, you can see I've already cast Ritual of Returning. That way if this guy gets hit in combat, he'll zap back home. We're now Empowering in Death, and that is going to allow us to Twiceborn. And this is not something you would normally do for a global, but when you put 500 gems in something, you're going to want to take every precaution you can. So we're going to Twiceborn. He's going to have Ritual of Returning. We're going to put HP items on him so that hopefully he can survive his first hit. If he gets attacked by horrors or an assassin or something like that, he will zap back home, which is exactly what we want. And I think that's about it for this turn. Short-term goals, take Micklin, take this as we can. We already killed their god. In general, we're going to start kind of looking to invade Utgard. And we're going to try to cordon off this throne. We want this throne, we want Micklin, and we want this fort. Those are kind of our short-term goals. Other goal will be getting Arcane Nexus up super soon. And then with that, what are we going to do? Well, there's a lot of things we can do. We have Conjuration 8. We'll get Conjuration 9 in not too long. We'll get you can see we're stopping for Alteration 9 first. We're only about 2 turns away from that, so that'll be really good. We waited way too long to finish researching that. I think we got distracted by other objectives that, like we could have been using Army of Gold this whole time, but we got Enchantment 9, but we don't have enough pearls to cast Nexus, and that was the real reason we got Enchantment 9. So anyway, our research orders were kind of a bit hosed up. Alteration Iron is going to be super important here, especially with all this free spawn. The more the more chaffy the army, the more important Army of Gold is. Yeah. So we'll have that soon. We'll put up Nexus. We also have this Conjuration bonus site, so we will probably get to setting up a tart factory here. To do that, and we're not doing it now, but we'll probably make a Lich. And then the Lich will come up here and be the one doing it, because it's really hard to move my Pretender around, who right now is my highest death person, and then these guys are only death 3, but Liches are death 4. So we'll probably get a Lich, they'll get the Skull Staff, that'll get them to death 5. Then they'll get the Helmet, right, that'll get them to death 6. But Tarts are death 7. As you can see down here at the bottom, death 7. So then we're going to have to give them a Ring of Sorcery, I think. There's a couple other unique death boosters. I do not know if they exist. I know that this one has already been forged, the Scepter of Dark Regency. Okay, well, it gets forged in a turn or two. I know in a turn or two it's not available. But I think there's some other ones too, like the Black Book of Secrets we could potentially do. I don't know if this one's been... Okay, this already exists. Abyssia, I think, is making them all. This would be a fun item to make. Anyway. I think that's it for this turn. So next time we'll probably see how this battle here goes. I think we'll try to do 2 turns in the next episode. This episode, I think we're only going to get 1 in. I kind of rambled on for a long time. So thank y'all for watching. See you next time.